Hello everyone. Today we are going to see one new topic in irrigation engineering, that is water requirement for crops. It is from unit number 3 and the subject code of the given subject is 1615505 and this is lecture 4. So in this topic we are going to see mostly about how much water is required for which type of crops. So we will be dealing about this topic in this class. So let's move into the content part. So what are the content of this topic are: number one is brief description of water requirement for crops, cropping season and crops in Maharashtra and Bihar, definition of crop period, base period and duty and delta. Then we will be seeing basic definition about, then we will be seeing factor affecting duty, relation between duty, delta and base period. Then we will be seeing definition of CCA, that is cultivable command area, then GCA gross command area, IA irrigation well area, then the intensity of irrigation, time factor and capacity factor. So this topic we are going to see in this video class. So let's move into the detailed content of water requirement for crops. As we all know, every type of crop require water for its survival, growth and development. For what? To produce economical part. As we all know, cultivation provides good economy to our country. As we all know, India is a farmer dominant country where 70% of the people are dependent on agriculture. So the requirement is applied either by artificial processes or by either by natural process, we all know. So how we will provide water through artificial process? Through the dam, which where water is stored, through reservoir where water is stored, and through head regulator, then canal through which we can supply water nearby areas where canal has been passed. Okay, and why? So how can you provide water through natural process? How it's happen? Through precipitation, that is rainfall. So the amount of water required for the crops to grow and survive and to the growth and develop, as you can see in this picture. So it is a uh, rabi crop. So as you can see, the it is on the process of growing, so it will require water for its development. Okay, so we require water for the planting so that it will grow. Okay, next is we will be seeing about cropping season in Maharashtra and Bihar. As we all know, these two places are the temperature is hot as well, cool also and humid also. In the it has a particular seasons. As we all know, in India, this areas like Maharashtra and Bihar, there are mainly two season. That is, one is Kharif season and Rabi season. But in Kharif season, what we grow? We grow paddy, that is rice, and in Rabi season we grow wheat. But if you go down south, the season is only humid, so the only Kharif season is suited in down south in Tamil Nadu areas. But if you go up north side like Punjab, Haryana, then you will go MP, UP, Bihar, this area is suited for both type of cultivation. So we for then there as you can see in this table, there are 6 seasons, 5 seasons, that is Kharif season, Rabi season, hot weather, 8 months and annually. So what are the period, how much days they require? Like from for a Kharif season, it is 15 June to 14th October, so approx 120 plus days. Okay, then 15 October to 14th February, then similarly 15th February to 14th June. So these are the period given where the plantation is required for their growth. Okay, it depend on season also. So these are the cropping season in Bihar and Maharashtra. Next one is cropping season. As we all know, what is the cropping season, how much is the base period, what crops is grown. Okay, so in Kharif season, the period is from 15th June to 14th October. That is base period for how many days? It is 123 days. So minimum we should have at least from time of sowing to time of harvesting, it should have minimum of 120 days, maximum of 123 days. So what type of crops is grown during that time? The rice, bajra and jowar. So these are the example of Kharif season. Next, we are going to move Rabi season. What is Rabi season? Rabi season means the crops which are grown during winter season. That is from 15th October to 14th February. Okay, so base period is almost around 122 days. What type of crop is grown? That is wheat, linseed and gram. Okay, and pulses also. Okay, in next is hot weather. So what we grow in hot weather, that is 15th February to 14th June, around 120 days, that is vegetable. Different types of vegetable are being grown in the hot weather condition. Next is 8 months. In 8 month cultivation, what is the date? From 15th June to 14th February, around 245 days. The plants required to get fully developed from time of sowing to time of harvesting. That is which type? Cotton, tur, groundnuts. So these are the example of common crops taken. Okay, so cotton is also known as a cash crop. So you can, if you plant, you can earn good money. Okay, next is annual or perennial type. So base period is from 15th June to 14th June, 1 year, so 365 days. So which type of plants are grown, crops are grown? That is sugarcane and orchards. So this orchards where apples are formed. Okay, so these are 1 year annually crops are grown. So there are different types of crops which require different amount of water, and how many waste periods are there we have seen in this video class. So next move into the what is the definition of crop period, base period, duty and delta. So what is crop period? It is the period in number of days that crops takes from the instant of its sowing to that of its harvesting. मतलब पहला रोपाई से कटाई तक जितना समय लगता है उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? क्रॉप पीरियड बोलते हैं. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज बेस पीरियड. बेस पीरियड इज दैट इट इज द पीरियड इन द डेज फ्रॉम फर्स्ट वाटरिंग टू द लास्ट वाटरिंग बिफोर हार्वेस्टिंग. मीन्स कि जो हम खेत को पटाते हैं पहला पानी से लेकर आखिरी पानी तक बिफोर काटने का कटनी के समय तक, उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? बेस पीरियड बोलते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज ड्यूटी. सो व्हाट इज ड्यूटी? ड्यूटी इज द एरिया इन हेक्टर्स irrigated by 1 cubic per meter per second of water flowing continuously for a base period for a particular crop. Like how much water is required? It is the topic. Duty is saying that it is an area in hectares irrigated by 1 cubic per meter per second of water. How much? 1 cubic 1 meter per meter per second of water flowing continuously for the base period. So what is the base period? Or as we have seen, the first watering to last watering. So duty comes under the base period. So how much water is required? Entire base period, that is known as a duty. Next is delta. Delta is the depth of water required by a crop during the entire period of crops. Like कितना प्रतिशत पानी उसको चाहिए ही चाहिए और डूबा हुआ रहता है, उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? डेल्टा बोलते हैं. लाइक डेल्टा इज द टोटल डेप्थ ऑफ वाटर रिक्वायर्ड बाय अ क्रॉप during the entire period of crop from first watering to the last watering to for a complete maturity of the crop is known as delta. ओके, इसको अगर हिंदी में बोलते हैं तो कैसे होगा हिंदी में? कि अगर पहला पानी से लेकर आखिरी पानी तक कितना प्रतिशत पानी चाहिए कि वो फुल्ली मैच्योर हो जाए, डेवलप हो जाए, उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? डेल्टा. सो वी हैव ऑलरेडी सीन द बेसिक डेफिनेशंस ऑफ क्रॉप पीरियड, बेस पीरियड, ड्यूटी एंड डेल्टा. लेट्स मूव इनटू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. That is duty. So the duty, as we all know, 1 cubic per meter per water is required for entire base period, like we have studied. So in duty of water of a canal system depends on varieties of factors. It depends on varieties of factors. The principal factors are मेथड एंड सिस्टम ऑफ इरिगेशन. मीन्स जो पानी का चाह है एक प्लांट को फुली ग्रो होने के लिए, तो ड्यूटी कैसे उसमें कौन सा ड्यूटी का फैक्टर अफेक्ट करता है? द प्रिंसिपल फैक्टर आर नंबर 1 मेथड एंड सिस्टम ऑफ इरिगेशन. किस प्रकार, व्हाट इज द मेथड, हाउ, व्हाट इज द क्रॉप पैटर्न, what crop do they plant, and how the irrigation system is there in that particular area. So that is method and system of irrigation. Next is mode of applying water to the crop. What is the mode? Is the river nearby, or only mode of income of water is that is through natural process, that is rain, or through pumping? So that also requires how you are going to supply water to the crop for their survival and their growth. Next is method of cultivation. How you cultivate? Okay, how you like which crop do you cultivate? Do you do mixed cultivation or particular only one type of cultivation? Okay, that also depends on duty. Next is time and frequency of tilling. How much, at what is the base period, like which time you grow and how much time required for fully development. Tilling, like the water is supplied to the all the areas and it is fully developed, that is known as frequency of tilling. Next is types of crop. Which type of crop you are growing? Either you are growing kharif crop or a rabi crop, or a hot weather, that is vegetables, then annual, or that is sugarcane or orchard. That depends how much they require water. Next is base period for the crop. How much is the base period? Means the required time from of sowing to the time of harvesting. How much days are there and how much the water they require, that is base period of the crop. Next is climatic condition of the area. This is very important. As we all know, India is a vast country where you have different types of weathers. Like if you go down south, there is all whole year there is hot and humid, but you come up north, there is cold season is there, and winter hot season is there, moderate season is there, rainy season is there, like as we have seen. So the different types of crops are grown in this during this period of time. Next is method of assessment, like how you provide water. What are the capabilities is government taking to supply? Either they are charging electric water bill, or they are taking any charges. As we all know, in Bihar, what we do every in 3 months we do रसीद कटाते हैं, like we cut a receipt for our land. Okay, next is canal condition. The canal which is artificially supplying water from the river for growth of crops, that what is the condition, it is maintained properly or not, is water is coming regularly or not, that also is checked in the canal condition. Next is characteristics of soil and subsoil of the canal. The soil in the canal, what is its character? It is it percolating or is sandy in nature? So the water has the capability to flow, so that is also checked. Next is character of soil and subsoil of the irrigation field. Means the irrigation field where are you growing, that has to be fertile. As we all know, our Bihar soil is what? Alluvial soil, and it's very much fertile because alluvial soil is a transported soil through the river. But if you different types of soil require different type of amount of water, and they grow different. As we all know, example, a cotton is grown only in black cotton soil, and the bearing capacity of cotton black soil is less as compared to this soil. So there are different characteristics of different soils. Okay, so these are the factors affecting duty. Next is method of improving duty. How can you improve the duty? How can you adopt some good idea to improve the duty? That is, suitable method of applying water to the crop should be used. Like how you are applying the water to the crop, that is number one. Next is the land should be properly plowed and leveled before sowing a crop. It should be given good tilth. Like for example, as we all know, when you prepare land for putting a rice, what you do? First we plow, okay, then we apply water over it, then again plow, then we make a swamp that is around, उसको हिंदी में होते हैं कीचड़ बनाते हैं, around 1 feet का, for 1 feet, then we sow the मोरी. okay, in हिंदी मोरी उसको होता है, उसको हम लोग क्या करते हैं? रोपते हैं. That type of land, like how which type of land is there, and how you are doing plowing is there, and water required, and there should be a tilt. Like if you apply water from the first point, it should end off from the last point. So are you giving the tilt to your land or not? That is very much important. Next is the land should be cultivated frequently. What you should not leave the land simply. You should need to grow or something on the land, and it's you should help to maintain the nutrition value of the land. So since frequent cultivation reduces loss of moisture, especially when the groundwater is within capillary reach of the ground surface. So this is very much important, that moisture, if we do regular cultivation also, that is also problem. So we should do balanced cultivation. Next is the canal should be lined. So what is lined? As we all know, what is lined? The topic lined, I will say you, if a canal is it can be this shape, this shape. So if the canal is there is no masonry work is done inside the canal, then it is unlined. If masonry work is done, that is called lined canal. So what is masonry work? As we all know, masonry work is a mixture of cement, sand and water, and PCC is done all over that. That is known as what? Lined canal. So it is important to improve duty is the canal should be lined. so the water won't be percolated and it can be easily reach to one place to another place without any problem. Next is parallel canals should be constructed if there are two canals running side by side, and the FSL will be lowered, the loss through this will be reduced. Like what is FSL? Full supply level. If one canal is running, another canal is running simultaneously parallelly, so we can reduce the discharge capacity, so there won't be any loss. Okay, so they can go at we will provide equal amount of water, we will discharge equally on both the canals, so that both the amount of water can be used without any loss. Okay, the ideal length of the canal should be reduced, right? It should not be long length. If it's long length, there would be so much loss. How the loss is, like there be sometimes unlined canal, it might be broken, the side area would be broken, the water would be flowing somewhere, so there is loss. Okay, so if the area is short, like around 50 kilometers, so it's good. Okay, the alignment of the canal either in a sandy soil or fixed rock should be avoided. Like in a sandy soil or a fixed rock, the the slope which we give to the canal should be avoided. The canal should be aligned that the area to be cultivated or concreted along it. लाइक एज वी ऑल नो, कहाँ पे हमें कैनल बनाना है, उस एरिया में कैनल बनाना है ताकि हर किसान को उससे पानी का सप्लाई मिल सके, वो हमें ध्यान में रखना है. Next है, the source of supply should be such that it gives good quality of water. It's very much important that the water is provided is of good quality. It should not be spoiled. That if it is spoiled or it is contaminated, it will affect the crops too. Next is the rotation of crop must be practiced. As we all know, if we don't have a crop rotation, the nutrition value of land will be lost and it will become infertile. So it is very much important that we practice crop rotation. If you sow paddy, then you have to sow rabi, then you have to sow some pulses, so it will maintain the nutrition value of the soil. Next is volumetric method of assessment should be used. How much amount of water you supplying to the regular interval for a required crop, that is volumetric assessment you should be taken care. Next is the farmer must be trained in proper use of water so that they apply correct quantity of water at correct time. It is very much important that it is not a simple task of doing farming. Farming is a very hard job where you need to know, you have to sow the crop like your own child, and you have to plant a water to them for their growth, and you have to regularly check the land so there won't be any weed inside that, so it will develop fully without causing any problem. So farmers should be trained in such a way that they should know how much water is required, at what time it is required, so that by using this 12 methods we can improve the duty. Next is relation between duty, delta and base period. So this is very important question as per this subject. Every time this question is asked, relation between duty, delta and base period. As we all know, let's see this derivation. It is very important and very simple. Just you have to go through this and you have to memorize some formulas. So let base period for the crop be B days. So what is base period? It is given by B days. Okay, 1 cubic of water be applied to the crops on the field for B days. So base period 1 cubic water is कहाँ apply हुआ है? For B days. Now volume of water applied to the crop during B days. How much amount of water is required applied to the B days? So B days कैसे हम निकालेंगे? Is equal to V is equal to, so volume हो गया, ठीक है. तो for how many days? You are counting for 1 days. तो 1 into 60, what is 60 minutes into 60 second into 24 hours into B मीटर क्यूब. ओके, ये हमको जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हमने कैसे कैलकुलेट किया. एक दिन में 1 घंटे में 60 मिनट, 60 मिनट में 1 मिनट में 60 सेकेंड इंटू 24 घंटे, हमने इसको मल्टीप्लाई करा तो हमारा जो वैल्यू आएगा 86,400 बी मीटर क्यूब आएगा. सो बाय द डेफिनेशन ऑफ ड्यूटी 1 cubic meter supplied for B days measures d hectare of land. How much? D hectare of land. So the quantity of water we measures d hectare of land is 10 to the power 4 d square per meter of area. So total depth of water required in the land is volume upon area. How much area to be cultivated is that volume upon area. So we have found already the volume. वॉल्यूम हमने कैसे फाइंड किया, सिंपल, एक दिन में कितना घंटे होते हैं, 24 घंटे में कितना, 1 घंटा कितना मिनट का होता है, कितना सेकंड का होता है, मल्टीप्लाई करा बी से, तो हमारा जो वैल्यू है 84,600 बी अपॉन 10 पावर पॉइंट डी. Okay, so when we when we calculate this, the value will be 8.64 b upon d meters. But so as we all know, the definition of delta क्या है, so delta is given by delta is equal to 8.64 b upon d meter. So the further delta will be 8.64 b अपॉन डी. सो हमने इसको फार्मूला को इस्तेमाल करके क्या करना है, वैल्यूज़ को निकाल लेना है. सो डेल्टा इज इन सेंटीमीटर, बी इज इन डेज एंड डी इज ड्यूटी इन हेक्टर पर क्यूमेक. सो हमें इस सिंपल द रिलेशन बिटवीन हमें कैसे देखना है, रिलेशन बिटवीन ड्यूटी डेल्टा एंड बेस पीरियड इज दैट कि एक वॉल्यूम ऑफ वाटर अप्लाई टू द क्रॉप ड्यूरिंग बी डेज, मीन्स कि जो हमारा बेस पीरियड है कितना अमाउंट ऑफ पानी रिक्वायर होता है. लाइक एक एग्जांपल ले लीजिए पैडी का, तो 123 दिन होता है, तो वो 123 दिन में कितना अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर लगेगा, तो कैसे निकालोगे, सिंपल सी बात है, आप जानते हो एक सीज़न में पर डे अगर पानी सप्लाई करेंगे तो 1 डे में 60 मिनट होता है, और 60 मिनट में 1 मिनट में 60 सेकंड होता है, कितने घंटे के लिए, 24 घंटे के लिए, इंटू बी, दैट इज बेस पीरियड. हमने मल्टीप्लाई करा तो हमारा वैल्यू क्या है, 86,400 बी मीटर क्यूब. सो एज वी ऑल नो डी, तो डी हमारा क्या है, ड्यूटी है. तो ड्यूटी हम एज वी ऑल नो द डेफिनेशन, ड्यूटी क्या है कि 1 क्यूबिक मीटर सप्लाइड फॉर ए बी डेज, क्योंकि वो उसका मेच्योरिटी, किसका, प्लांट का मेच्योरिटी. तो बी डेज क्या हो गया, हमने वो फार्मूला से निकाल लिया है. तो हमारा वी क्या हो जाएगा, हमने टोटल अब डेप्थ निकालना है किसका, कि एक ड्यूटी का, कि कितना पानी चाहिए, तो वॉल्यूम अपॉन एरिया, तो हमने वॉल्यूम निकाल रखा है. सो वॉल्यूम इज 84,600 मीटर क्यूब बी मीटर क्यूब अपॉन 10⁴ अपॉन डी. जब हम इसको सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे तो हमारा वैल्यू क्या आएगा, 8.64 बी अपॉन डी मीटर्स. So as we all know definition of delta, so it can be further equated as delta is equal to 8.64 b upon d meters. यहाँ पे हम लोग देख सकते हैं, और हम जानते हैं कि डेल्टा किस में है, सेंटीमीटर में है, बी इन डेज है, और डी इज ड्यूटी इन हेक्टर पर क्यूब में. तो इससे हमें पता लग जाएगा कि कितना पानी किस समय के लिए चाहिए. नेक्स्ट इज command area. What is command area? Command area is the downstream side of a project to which water can reach by gravity. So the area, as we all know, the land which is available, which is situated near the downward side of a river. So वहाँ पे हमें पानी पहुँचाने का जरूरत नहीं, वहाँ पे ऑटोमेटिक पानी पहुँच जाएगा अंडर द ग्रेविटी. दैट इज नोन एज कमांड एरिया. नेक्स्ट इज ग्रॉस कमांड एरिया. ग्रॉस कमांड एरिया इज व्हाट, द टोटल एरिया लाइंग बिटवीन ड्रेनेज बाउंड्री विच कैन बी कमांडेड or irrigated by a canal system or a water course is known as a gross command area, which can be like overall command area. Like as we all know कि अगर डाउन स्ट्रीम में पड़ता हो बिटवीन ड्राइनेज बाउंड्री और विद द यूज़ ऑफ कैनाल वाटर से उसको हम लोग खेती कर सकें, तो उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, ग्रॉस कमांड एरिया. नेक्स्ट इज कल्चरेबल कमांड एरिया. ग्रॉस कमांड एरिया कंटेन सम अनफर्टाइल बैरन लैंड. वी ऑल नो, उसमें कोई भी रोड आ जाता है और टेम्पल आ जाता है या कब्रिस्तान आ जाता है, तो ये सारा चीज़ आ जाता है ग्रॉस कमांड एरिया में, लेकिन वहाँ पे हम लोग कल्टीवेशन नहीं कर सकते. लेकिन कल्चरेबल कमांड एरिया क्या होता है, ग्रॉस कमांड एरिया कंटेन सम अनफर्टाइल बैरन लैंड, लोकल पॉन्ड्स, विलेज, ग्रेवयार्ड एक्स्ट्रा विच आर एक्चुअली अनकल्चरेबल एरियाज. वो क्या होता है, अनकल्चरेबल एरियाज. बट द ग्रॉस कमांड एरिया माइनस द अनकल्चरेबल एरिया ऑन विच द क्रॉप इज ग्रोन इज सेटिस्फैक्टरी नोन एज कल्चरेबल कमांड एरिया. वी ऑल नो कल्चरेबल कमांड एरिया क्या होता है कि जिस पे हम लोग खेती कर सकते हैं उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, कल्चरेबल कमांड एरिया. नेक्स्ट है हमारा कल्चरेबल कल्टीवेटेड एरिया. कल्चरेबल कल्टीवेटेड एरिया क्या होता है, द एरिया ऑन विच क्रॉप इज ग्रोन एट ए पर्टिकुलर टाइम और ए क्रॉप सीजन. मीन्स कि जिस समय पे हम लोग कल्टीवेशन करते हैं उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, कल्चरेबल कल्टीवेटेड एरिया. नेक्स्ट इज कल्चरेबल अनकल्टीवेटेड एरिया, द एरिया ऑन विच नो क्रॉप इज ग्रोन ऑन ए पर्टिकुलर टाइम और ए क्रॉप. ये क्यों होता है, क्योंकि वो सॉइल का मॉइस्चर कम हो जाने की वजह से वहाँ कल्टीवेशन नहीं हो पाता है, वो बैरन लैंड होता है, मरुभूमि बन जाता है, लाइक बांझ मरुभूमि बन जाता है, वो जन्म नहीं दे पाता है. नेक्स्ट इज इरिगेबल कमांड एरिया. व्हाट इज इरिगेबल, द एरिया विच इज कल्चरेबल कमांड एरिया विच कैन बी एक्चुअली इरिगेटर. उसमें हम लोग खेती कर सकते हैं, उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, इरिगेबल कमांड एरिया. नेक्स्ट इज पेलियो इरिगेशन. This is very much important topic. Most of the time it is asked for 3 marks question. What is paleo irrigation? Paleo irrigation means sometime it is observed that at initial stage before the crop is sown to the land it is very dry. क्या रहता है, जब हम पौधा रोपते हैं तो जो जमीन रहता है बहुत सूखा हुआ रहता है. सो इन दैट केस सॉइल इज मॉइस्चर विद द वाटर सो एज टू हेल्प सोइंग. क्या मीन्स कि उस केस में हम लोग पानी खेत में पटाते हैं ताकि हमारा जो पौधा हो बढ़ सके. उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, पेलियो इरिगेशन. तो आप नाम से जानिएगा पेलियो इरिगेशन क्या होता है कि कई बार क्या होता है कि इनिशियल से जब हम पौधे को रोपते हैं तो हमारा जो ज़मीन रहता है सूखी रहता है, तो उस ज़मीन को हम मॉइस्चर प्रोवाइड करते हैं पानी पटा के, और उस फर्स्ट वाटरिंग को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, हम लोग पेलियो इरिगेशन करते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज कैश क्रॉप. व्हाट इज कैश क्रॉप? जिससे इनकम हो सके, जिससे पैसे आप कमा सके. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल कॉटन. कॉटन एक ऐसा प्लांट है कि वो 8 महीने के लिए होता है, लेकिन उससे आप अच्छे खासे पैसा कमा सकते हैं. और टोबैको है, शुगर केन है. नेक्स्ट है इंटेंसिटी ऑफ इरिगेशन. क्या है इंटेंसिटी? परसेंटेज ऑफ CCA, दैट इज कल्चरेबल कमांड एरिया दैट इज कल्टिवेटेड इन ए पर्टिकुलर सीजन. एरिया इरिगेटेड पर सीजन, that is total irrigable area. So these are the basic definition which we have covered under water requirement for crops. Next is time factor. What is the time factor? As we all know, time is very important. So we know that how much amount of water is required, at what time it is required, that is important. The time factor of a canal is the ratio of number of days the canals actually रन टू द नंबर ऑफ डेज टू इरिगेशन पीरियड. अगर एक इरिगेशन पीरियड है तो हमारा जो कैनल है, जो सप्लाई ऑफ वाटर है, कितना दिन उसमें पानी रहता है, दैट इज़ वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट. फॉर एग्जांपल इफ द नंबर ऑफ डेज ऑफ इरिगेबल पीरियड इज़ 12, अगर 12 दिन है एक इरिगेशन पीरियड का और हर 5 दिन में होता है, तो दैट इज़ टाइम फैक्टर इज़ 5/12. और वी ऑल नो द पीरियड इज़ फॉर 24 आवर्स. ओके, तो 24 आवर्स में दिन और रात दोनों को कैलकुलेट करते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज कैपेसिटी फैक्टर. तो कैपेसिटी फैक्टर क्या होता है? दिस इज द रेशियो ऑफ मीन्स सप्लाई डिस्चार्ज टू द फुल सप्लाई डिस्चार्ज ऑफ ए कैनल. लाइक कैपेसिटी फैक्टर, जितना कैपेसिटी रहता है उस कैनाल का, नहर का, उतना फुल कैपेसिटी में पानी छोड़ते हैं बांध से, ताकि किसान को उससे अपना खेत को पटा सके. उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, कैपेसिटी फैक्टर. नेक्स्ट इज सीजनल ड्यूटी. सीजनल ड्यूटी इज दैट ऑल क्रॉप्स यूजुअली सोन ड्यूरिंग क्रॉप सीजन. वी ऑल नो कि जिस समय जो क्रॉप का सीज़न रहता है उस क्रॉप को हम लोग लगाते हैं. उसमें क्या होता है कि कई बार लॉसेस होने का चांसेस होता है, और हमें सही समझ के ही हमें क्रॉपिंग लगाना चाहिए. नेक्स्ट इज क्रॉप रेशियो. किस प्रकार का क्रॉप रेशियो हम लोग उगाते हैं? वी ऑल नो देयर आर रबी सीजन एंड खरीफ सीजन. सो वो दोनों को मेंटेन करते हैं. द रेशियो इज फाउंड दैट इज नोन एज ए crop ratio. Crop ratio is so selected that discharge in the canal during both the season should be uniform. crop ratio हम लोग कैसे मेंटेन करते हैं? हम ये जानते हैं कि जो हमारा पानी का सप्लाई हो थ्रू कैनाल शुड बी यूनिफॉर्म इन बोथ द सीजन, ताकि हम लोग आसानी से कल्टिवेशन कर सके. नेक्स्ट इज कोर डेप्थ एंड कोर पीरियड. सो व्हाट इज कोर डेप्थ? कोर डेप्थ इज वाटरिंग इज द फर्स्ट वाटरिंग इज नोन एज कोर वाटरिंग. दैट क्या होता है? पहला पानी जो खेत को पड़ता है उसको क्या बोलते हैं? कोर वाटरिंग. एंड द डेप्थ इज सप्लाइड इज नोन एज ए कोर डेप्थ, कि कितना गड्ढा पानी उसमें रहेगा खेत में, उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? कोर डेप्थ. नेक्स्ट इज द पोर्शन ऑफ बेस पीरियड इन विच कोर वाटरिंग इज नीडेड इज नोन एज ए कोर पीरियड. लाइक जिस एरिया में हम लोग पानी रखना है उसको हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे? कोर पीरियड बोलेंगे. सो दिस वर द बेसिक डेफिनेशन अंडर वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर क्रॉप्स. ठीक है, तो हमने इस क्लास में क्या क्या देखा? वी विल सी इन द समरी दैट इज वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर क्रॉप्स, विच टाइप ऑफ क्रॉप्स, लाइक वी हैव सीन अबाउट क्रॉपिंग सीजन इन महाराष्ट्र एंड बिहार. Then we have seen the relation between delta, duty, base period, and some basic definitions. Then factor affecting duty. Then how to improve duty. So this were the topic we have covered under this class. So अगर आपको कोई भी doubt होगा, we will be dealing in doubt class also. So I have referred this books, that is Dr. B.C. Punamiya book, and I have also I have also used Santosh Kumar Garg book, and I have used the online source, that is google.com. Okay, so thank you. Have a good day.